We've, at this point in the competition, we have stretched out the dough to about 75% of the diameter we want before we start slapping it. Now, the slapping method is the best way to go. Pretty much anyone who wins this competition does a slapping method. Spinning in the air, just waste time. It doesn't do the job as fast as slapping does. There are a lot of things you want to bear in mind as you do this. Make sure that your dough is, as you work it on the table, you worked it toward your screens, so you don't have a lot of time going back and forth. You're going to pick your first one up, and you're going to slap it. Now shake. And as you're slapping, work your way down to the screen you're going for. Go to this screen, well then work your way right down to it while you're slapping. Okay, as you're slapping, you're going to bring it over, you're going to go back and forth. And then the final slap, your hand is going to be flipped over, this hand underneath, boom, it's on the table. Now, the real important thing you want to remember, this is the very most important thing, is when you make this final slap, boom, 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 one motion. You go, you flip on your hands correctly, flip, drop, and you're done. And make sure, this is the key, in the competitions, this screen must be totally covered, completely covered. So when you put this dough down, you want to make sure the screen is totally covered and give yourself like an inch, 2 inches if you can. This, as that dough sits there, it's going to shrink. It will shrink. And as you're working your way, as you bump the table and jar the table, it'll shrink more. So keep that in mind. A lot of guys like to come back and are excited. They slap the dough, they pick the next one up, and boom, 3 of their doughs have just shrunk, and now they've got to go back and fix all of them. Cost them 10 seconds. Now they're in like 7th place. So just real important to keep that in mind. Now we're going to work our way through the stack. So I'm just going to pick these up. I'm going to slap them, drop, back and forth, drop. There we are. We've got all 5 of them down. All 5 of them are much larger than the screen. And we're done. You throw your arms up, you're done. Hopefully you win. What I want to point out here is just how bad it can be if you're bumping the table, you're slapping it, you're getting excited, you're jarring it. You see this one's already shrunk back, this one's shrunk back, and your time's ruined because you got to go back and fix those. The other thing we want to touch on is holes. What do you do if you rip a hole? What do you do if you put your hand right through it? You shred it. Lay it down, come back to it. Don't mess with it at that point. That's just a real important thing to remember. As the dough sits and it relaxes, you'll be able to stretch that, fix the hole 10 times better than if you try and fix it at that point. If you are having trouble getting it to be big enough for the screen, you slap it, you put it down, and it's not big enough. Don't sit there and try and stretch it out like this. Don't do that. That'll cost you 10, 20 seconds on one dough. Pick it back up, give it a couple of slaps. Maybe only one is all you need, one really big one. Put it back down, and you're done. Now, sometimes you run into a situation where you've got too small and holes. You're going to have to stretch that dough out. You may have to pick it up and kind of do like you're doing the largest stretch competition and just get this thing huge. Then put it down, and now you can fix those holes because as you fix them, you'll be pulling it back in and it'll cover. If you're having a lot of trouble with the dough snapping back, you can pull it out over and just push down into the mesh, and that dough will anchor itself right into the mesh and it'll hold. And repairing your hole, this one here, we're going to fix this one. Just like if you were doing the largest stretch competition, you want to overlap. One big, huge overlap, and then bring this one over. You're done. Small pinholes will almost always be let go. Don't worry about the little small pinholes. Try and be careful if you do push it down into the mesh, because sometimes it'll start tearing holes into your screen, your dough. The screen will tear holes into your dough. That's pretty much it. You want to be as fast as you can, get this thing down in your head before you start. Go as fast as you can, slap the dough, don't spin it. you're coming across from one hand, the other, drop it down, and that's it, you're done. One other tip to remember is you want to be prepared whether you've got hard dough or soft dough. If you're always practicing and you know, and sometimes you can get it down. I'm going to do 5 slaps, put it down, it'll be the right size. If you've got hard dough, 5 slaps doesn't work anymore. Or if you've got soft dough, maybe you only need 4. So on that first dough, as you come off the table, count how many slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's big. Put it down. 4 slaps is all it took. So when you get to the other ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, put it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, put it down. Or you can do the reverse if it's hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put it down. 1, 2, 3. So you get that first one, sets the benchmark, and now you know exactly what you need to do for the doughs coming up. I hope you found something in these videos that have helped you. At least one little nugget of information that you can take back and apply to your competition to make you get a better score. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me at michael@worldpizzachampions.com. Be sure to check back our website regularly as we often update the rules for the competition and post scores and information at worldpizzachampions.com. And hope to see you at the next World Pizza Games and hope to compete against you over at the World Pizza Champions in Italy. Good luck.